The legends of Saint Nicholas and Hotai are extremely rich in folklore. Their tales have been passed on for centuries through legendary circumstances that have evolved them into what we have understood them to be today. Saint Nicholas's stories, however, contain more fable-based circumstances than the story of Hotai. For over 1,000 years, these legends have influenced the lives of their believers throughout the world. Saint Nicholas was born approximately 200 AD to a wealthy family in Patralicia, Asia Minor. He died a bishop of what is now present-day Turkey on December 6, 343 AD. Finding religion at a young age, he devoted his entire life to Christianity. He is typically known as Nicholas of Myra, Saint Nicholas, or simply Santa in America. His life story is based upon a European folktale. In Germany, Austria, Belgium, and Netherlands, he is portrayed as the bishop in traditional Christian robes. Throughout many countries in Europe, St. Nicholas distributes gifts to children on December 5th, which is the eve of his feast day. In some countries, the gifts come at another time during Advent or on Christmas Eve. In the 1200s, December 6th became known as Bishop Nicholas Day in France. In Bari, Italy, there is a shrine devoted to him. The pilgrims believe this shrine to exude a sweet-smelling odor which cures medical disorders and illness. His image is also found in many churches across Europe. By 450 AD, churches were being named after him in Asia Minor and Greece. The relics of St. Nicholas were transported to Bari in southern Italy by Italian merchants. A basilica was constructed in 1087 to house them, and the area became a pilgrimage site for the devout. By the end of the 1400s, over 2,000 chapels and monasteries had been named after him. A strikingly similar figure was Hotai, a Buddhist Zen monk in China around 900 AD. To English speakers, he is known as the Laughing Buddha, and to the Chinese he is referred to as Hotai, which literally translated means the cloth sack, usually depicted as a stout, smiling, bald man in robes with an exposed belly. He has become known as the deity of contentment and abundance. The legend of Hotai has become incorporated in Buddhist and Shinto culture and is based on an eccentric Chinese Zen monk. It is Taoist in origin. Hotai is also a part of Japanese folklore as one of 7 lucky gods, or Shichi Fukujin. He is the only one of 7 lucky gods that is based on an actual person. It was not until the 16th century that he was canonized as the 16th and last Chinese Bodhisattva. Due to his good and loving nature, Hotai was regarded as the incarnation of the future Buddha. His belly, a symbol of luck, generosity, and happiness, is also considered the seat of the soul in Chinese mythology. There are several views on the story of St. Nicholas. However, the 2 most popularly believed stories are disputed between split beliefs of religious historians and Christian religious believers, from where the mythical stories were born and kept alive for centuries. Some religious historians believe there is no valid evidence to indicate that St. Nicholas ever existed as a human. This theory says that the Christian Church created a fictional life history for St. Nicholas. These historians hold that the St. Nicholas legends were created from the myths of the Greek god Poseidon, the Roman god Neptune, and the Teutonic god Hold-Nekar. According to Hotai legend, he was said to have wandered from village to village with the cloth sack filled with rice plants, food, sweets, toys for children, and the woes of the world. In addition to his cloth bag, he is depicted carrying an ugi, which is a flat fan of Chinese origin used by ancient chieftains as an emblem of authority and wish-granting. Due to his constant good nature, he too has become the symbol of philosophical contentment. His life duty was to be a patron to the weak and poor children. In some statues, he is depicted with a small child hanging on his back. The story behind this portrayal is that he once carried a child to safety across a dangerously flooded river. Saint Nicholas and Hotai are considered to be protectors of travelers and are featured in many good luck charms in the West. There are many legends and miracles associated with Santa Claus.
When he was an infant, it was said that his mother only nursed him on Wednesdays and Fridays, and that he fasted his remaining days. At one point, he was known to have halted a storm at sea in order to save 3 drowning sailors, and from then on was considered a patron saint not only to children, but to sailors and political leaders as well. St. Claus was said to have grabbed the sword of an executioner in order to save the life of a political leader at the time. He was also fabled to have brought several children back to life who had been killed.
Saint Nicholas was believed to have wandered from village to village just as Hotai did,
with a cloth sack which contained money, food, and clothing for the poor. During his lifetime, he adored children and was said to have thrown gifts anonymously into the windows of their homes. Due to the fortune he inherited from his father, Saint Nicholas was able to help many people.
Hotei's legendary story has derived beginnings from a mixture of Buddhist, Taoist, and Shinto beliefs. It is believed that if you rub his belly, it brings forth good luck, wealth, and prosperity. This belief, however, does not conform to Buddhist doctrine. Hotai is worshipped as a god of good luck and prosperity by the custom of placing a drawing of Hotai in the treasure boat along with the 6 other gods under your pillow on the first night of the new year. This ensures that your first dream of the new year will be an auspicious one. He is admired for his happiness, plenitude, and wisdom of content. Chinese Buddhists have adopted Hotai into the Mahayana Buddhist pantheon, and his image is found in the first hall of many Buddhist monasteries. In Chan temples there is generally a statue of Hotai in courtyards, as well as the entrances. Hotai was attributed the title of Maitreya Buddha because of a poem that was allegedly written on his deathbed.
Maitreya, true Maitreya. His body takes myriad forms, but at the times he manifested himself to men, none of them recognize him. The Maitreya cult was established as early as the time of Tao An. At the time of the Ling dynasty, the figure of Maitreya was very popular due to political turmoil, and a great many Buddhists venerated Maitreya in the hope that he would soon come to spread the Dharma.
Buddhists at the time took the poem to mean that Hotai had been the Maitreya all along, and thus the title was attributed to him in folklore. Most modern Buddhists now believe Hotai's poem as an allegory for seeking one's salvation in the present moment, rather than looking to an imagined figure. Chinese Buddhists believe that he will return to the world and bring innumerable individuals to salvation.
Shinto beliefs were incorporated into the legend when Buddhist missionary monks were delivering the message of Gautama Buddha to the island of Japan. They devised a method to more efficiently reach the local Shinto inhabitants by manifesting Buddhist principles with the Shinto kami. The monks proved to be successful. The Buddhists were able to better communicate their ideology to Japanese natives by using the kamis as an example in the common Buddhist practice.
Thus, Buddhism became widespread in Japan, and from one of these manifestations came the story of Hotai.
By the 19th century, he was superseded in much of Europe by Christ-Kindlen, the Christ child, who delivered gifts in secret to the children. He traveled with a dwarf-like helper called Pelsnickel, or with Nicholas-like figures. Eventually, all the stories were combined into the image that we now know as Santa Claus, and Christ-Kindlen became Kris Kringle. It was not until the 10th century when the Christian author Metaphrastes collected and wrote many traditional legends about St. Nicholas. Then, during the 11th century, the Roman Catholic Church told the people that during the Muslim invasion of Asia Minor, the bishop's remains were transferred to Bari, Italy, where he became known as Nicholas of Bari.
In modern times, Hotai and St. Nicholas's images appear in many places. Hotai's image commonly appears in homes and businesses in China and Japan. Many of his images grace amulets, temples, and even restaurants. He is now often referred to as the patron saint for restaurants and bartenders. When one eats and drinks too much, people tend to jokingly attribute it to Hotai's influence. There is growing interest outside of Japan in Buddhist beliefs. However, due to discrepancies in cultural and factual history, Hotei's true nature and religious significance is often lost in translation.